So welcome to day 4 of the Bridge to Heaven Masterclass. And boy, are we excited and to get to this day. And I know some of you are saying, I don't want this to end. Like, can we just keep going? And we're going to talk about that, about how you can't keep going with us. And I'm going to unveil some brand new offering that will make it possible for anybody to join the academy. And I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, but I can't afford it. That's just out of my price range. We have removed every obstacle you could ever give us, any, excuse you could ever give us. And so, and we'll talk about it in a bit, but the only excuse that we'll accept is that you just don't want to, like that's it. Like, it's just not for me. And that's cool. Not for me, not ready, don't want to. So, but before we do that, and I have still a lot to teach you, okay, I want to say that thank you from the bottom of my heart for just joining us for this marathon, if you will. It's been a bit of a marathon. And as some of you know, it started out, I was actually really sick. I was so sick that first day. And I work for spirit, so when something goes on like that, I'll go, look, I work for you guys. You got to help me out here. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it's not always easy, and I'll even throw a little tantrum because I'm human. I get to do that. I get to go, this is not fair. Like, where are you guys? and they come through. Eventually they come through. And so I was either to power through that first day, and literally pretty much after that was just like a basket case. Was like, I think I went to sleep at 6 o'clock at night and completely wiped out. And in the morning, I felt way, way better. But they've been coming in. And then, as you guys know, on Tuesday, the second day, I know their archangels were kind of banging at the door going, let us in. You need to let us in. And I hadn't even occurred to me that I would be bringing them in, that I would channel that guided meditation for you and bring them in the next day too, right? The third day. And then they were even more like banging on the door. And then they said, well, now that we're here, like, we're just going to stay here. Like, I said, well, you mean continually? And they go, yeah, we're going to really dig in deeper with you in the academy and in whatever else that, I do. So, of course I said yes. And then just some amazing, miraculous things have occurred, like in the middle of the night. I think it was, no, not last night, the night before, I woke up all of a sudden and I got this message: you got to cancel this subscription to something that I had signed up for and that was about to expire. Those things where you sign up for a free trial and then after the free trial, you got to pay, right? And if I hadn't like unsubscribed, I would have been out like $100. I think it was like $97, something like that. So I clearly got that message, woke up out of a dead sleep, like went on there and found out that I was like just hours close to missing that deadline, right? So I just unsubscribed and got that all cleared. And then I was talking to the angels and they said, we have plans, we want you to know that, we're here and you were destined to work more with us. You always have. It's not like they haven't been there, but it's like they've been in the background, let's just say, in a sense. And they said it's time for us to get more directly engaged. And we want to, in the academy and a little bit in the lives, right? The YouTube lives that we do will come through there too. They said, but we need you to understand that working with us, the archangels and your individual guardian angels and the angelic realm in general. Oh, and they're also saying, and guides and maybe other deities that you resonate with. A deity, they're showing me, like some of you may more resonate with Kuan Yin, right? Or some other, or even, I don't know, they're showing me all these deities, and we'll go into it later. But but and includes in chat extended masters like Jesus. I have a strong connection with Jesus, and I don't talk about it a lot. It's not like I am always communicating with him, but I always felt connected to him as from being a child, and like he was my best friend, and I wasn't even going to church. Like I wasn't brought up in any religion, but I just, as soon as I saw my first movie about Jesus as a little kid, I was like, I knew who he was. Like I love that man, you know? And so whoever that is for you, whether it's an ascended being, whether it's an angel, whoever it is, we're going to go deeper into that, because they said to me that when you learn to communicate with them, whoever you resonate with, and you call on them for help, they said that will help you raise your vibration. It is going to, of course, connect you more deeply with your soul, because on the other side, you're like pals with all of them. Like, all of them, they're like part of your team. And so when they said that to me, it made sense. I thought, well, yeah. They said, well, why wouldn't you want all of the help that heaven can give you, and not just your loved one? They too, of course, they're going to be like first in line. Like I tell our students all the time, your loved one on the other side, whether it's a parent, child, partner, whoever that is that you're trying to connect with, they're pretty much at the front of the line saying, I want to connect. I'm kind of running the show. I want to support my loved one because they're trying to connect with me. But they obviously are not necessarily equipped, because of their soul level, to give everything that is possible. And the other side, clearly with the archangels and other ascended beings, other deities, can do that. So they want to come in and work together as your team, your unique team, which again, your loved one would be actively, at least if not at the front of the line, pretty much with the others at the front of the line. Okay. So when that experience happened on that second day, and they came in, and I could feel the power of them, and many of you remarked on that. You felt it too, and a lot of you fell asleep. And they said that's because the energy is so high, it's like you lose consciousness. You can literally lose consciousness because it's such a high frequency that if you're not ready for it, you can just go out, and that's okay. They're saying it's okay because you're acclimating to it, and so you will adjust to it, and it will get easier. You will be able to handle it. You won't go to sleep. They said they're saying, we promise you you're not going to get knocked out every time, but in the beginning, yeah, you're adjusting, you're kind of raising your vibration incrementally. You can't just go from 0 to 100. It's going to go at whatever pace is appropriate for you. And then they just reminded me that was my agreement, as I shared a little bit of my story about how I had this vision, and some spirit came through me and spoke through me, and I saw out of my eyes, but knew that there was some other, I'll just say, higher being blended with me, and we were talking as one, and they said that was us. But it scared the crap out of me. I was like, whoa, like that was so intense. And that was 37 years ago. A lot has changed since then. I've had to up level, as I call it. You are going to up level too. We're going to talk more about that in the academy. I don't know if you ever have studied Joseph Campbell's work, and he talks about the hero's journey. We're going to go into how all of us are on the hero's journey, and why it can be rather tumultuous. It's designed that way, and why the hero's journey is, in essence, a spiritual journey. It's a journey of all humanity. And it's why we love stories, because all stories, like movies, TV, right, books, it's all the hero's journey. There's always the hero that is catapulted in some sort of crisis, goes through on some level a dark night of the soul. In some cases, they might literally fear that they're not going to make it, that they're going to die or be somehow, devastated. And yet they come out the other side. and they're reborn and they're stronger and they're standing in a new place. So I want you to just think about that, because this relationship you're in, it is the hero's journey. And it isn't going to be all rainbows and unicorns to skip along the yellow brick road, because that wouldn't be the hero's journey. That isn't. And Alan's laughing. He goes, yeah. And the Wizard of Oz, she was on the hero's journey, wasn't she? It wasn't easy. She had to face a lot of obstacles. And of course, that's why it's such a great story. It would be completely boring if Dorothy just went skipping down the yellow brick road and had no problem in the world, no care in the world. Like, what's the story in that? Do you see how we're wired to connect to these stories of actually of conflict, you know, and sometimes persecution, of death and rebirth? That is the nature of existence, of going through eternally some form of the hero's journey. But again, we'll talk more about that in the academy. So I just want to thank you for that, and I want you to know we're going to go bring them in again, the archangels, and that everything you've learned today, you can continue to revisit the videos, you know, over and over as much as you want to. And we hope you do. We encourage you to do so. There's no end to how much you can grow from that. I think some of you have experienced already that even if you couldn't come to it live, that you watched the replay and you received a lot of benefit. And the reason for that is these sessions I do, and I'm not trying to at all pat myself on the back or anything. This, because I myself was shocked when I started doing this work. Like even before Alan passed, I was been doing this work, and people would tell me that they had profound experiences, and I thought, well, there's something else going on here. It's not just me, you know, it's not just me, human me, facilitating something, and so I realized now, after especially now with Alan crossing and coming through and teaching with me, that yeah, we're opening this doorway to the other side, and because that was my soul agreement to work with spirit. And I've been in training for this for 37 years, getting ready for it for 37 years. Didn't really step into it until after Alan passed, and he said, I want you to teach with me. And then everything that I've learned from back in 1987 just all made sense of why I had to learn that, go through that, experience that, and why I struggled to figure out what I was here to do. I thought I was here to teach Reiki, and then my heart wasn't, I knew it helped me. Oh, don't get me wrong. It helped me tremendously. And I trained 104 Reiki masters, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat, but I knew that that wasn't it either. So what do you do when you know you're this teacher and you're here to do that, but you can't figure out what are you here to teach, right? And then Alan passed and he said, you were waiting for me to die. What? What? You couldn't step into your work until I crossed over. And if your guides had told you that, you probably would have revolted and said, I'm not doing that. I'm going to have to wait through a 30-year marriage to find my calling. And why would I want to do that? And they said, so they couldn't tell you. But now you know. We're here to work together. Not everybody's going to be accepting of it. You can't expect that. Most of the world is going to reject this. And people who join you in this are going to have to understand that too, that those around them are likely going to roll their eyes. And if all of you want to experience this unique, extraordinary experience that he's saying few souls in a body will experience. Okay, that's how rare it is. Like he's saying, like 1% of 1%. You got to understand what this is about. This is no small thing. This is the other side coming through to us saying, we're here to help you not just connect with those you love in the spirit world, but to help you transform, help you go through your awakening. And that way, not only do you reap the benefit of that, but you contribute to the rest of the world by the lifting up of your vibration, by you breaking free of your limiting beliefs and your fears and your issues, and seeing who you really are, that you're this incredible soul, this being that, yes, you have flaws and imperfections, but those are all illusions that you took on to play this role in this life. And so we're here in the academy to teach you. And this is like something I would say to our academy students. What I'm telling you right now, I basically have said this to our students. And you might say, okay, well, then you're just repeating yourself. But here's the thing, guys. This information has got to be repeated and repeated and repeated because your indoctrination has been so intense and goes back millennia, your ancestral lineage. You are breaking free of the chains of bondage, of thinking, of limiting beliefs that has trapped humankind. This is why it takes time and why we repeat certain things and come back to certain points, and then it sinks in a little bit, and the next time it sinks in a little bit, and we're shifting. And he's showing me we're peeling off layers of the onion of your belief system and your consciousness, okay? Because most of you have very fixed ideas, which is how it was meant to be. Because if you didn't have fixed ideas about reality, and some of it is distorted, but if you didn't have that, you couldn't have this experience in the physical world. You had to have these belief systems, and it's a good thing. But now that you realize there's more to existence, because someone I love crossed over and I realized they're not dead. I realized I can connect. I realized I'm not going to die either. I realized that there's a greater world beyond this one. Well, now you got to break free of all those chains and fears and limitations. Okay. And you can do it. This is the time to do it. You knew you could do it. That's why you are here right now, because of the ascension energies pouring through from source, from God, whatever you want to call it, the universe, that are busting everything apart. That's why the world looks like it's falling apart. It has to fall apart to be put back together in a new way. Some things have to be completely broken down, right? Like disassembled, like into pieces. And some things are not going to maybe even be put back together. They're going to be replaced. Okay, so structures are crumbling. And during this time of chaos and confusion, which is also an exhilarating time, you have support from the other side. They're here and they want to guide you. They want to encourage you. They want to love you. They want to be there for you. They can help you in ways that would blow your mind. Blow your mind. They can save your life. They've saved mine countless times and lives of my clients. I know that. Some of you, maybe most of you, you're like, what? Like, I didn't know that. Like, it could be news to you, and we get it. But your loved one on your side, they know it. Okay. So I want to get to teaching you. So before we do that, because I just needed to give you that little bit of a pep talk to let you know you're in the right place. And if this is something that you want to pursue, we're going to talk about how you can do that. And like I said, there's no reason for you not to join us unless you don't want to join us, which is perfectly okay. We don't want anybody to come on board if they're not happy. So, but right now, just to kind of switch things up a little bit, I want to read Jackie's story. Jackie's in our academy, and she very much wanted me to share her story with the group. And so I'm going to, do that right now. So take a listen. This is her story. Before his transition, my husband had been ill and fought hard for 5 months to heal. I stayed with him in the hospital 24/7 for 5 months. During that time, I began to see things a lot differently. My husband began communicating with me, not physically, because he was so sick, he had to be intubated, so he couldn't actually speak, but emotionally and spiritually. The day I had to call our children in to see their daddy one more time, he asked me to do something. I was to go downstairs to the hospital gift shop and get them something and say it was from their daddy. I walked into the store, and after walking around in my mind, I told my husband I had no idea what to get them. He told me I'd know when I'd see it and to keep looking. Finally, I came to a glass case that contained figurines. There it was. That's what I was supposed to get. They each got a little hummingbird in a different color and a grief angel. I took them back to my husband, who gave me a look of approval. I remember thinking how I wished someone would do that for me so that I would have a gift from my husband before he passed as well. I only say that now because now I realize that that was my gift. He showed me how we were going to continue our relationship and how he was keeping his promise that he made to me many years ago, that he would never leave me and would always be by my side, protecting and loving me. That was the most beautiful gift I could have ever received. I was so heartbroken and heavy with grief, but I felt him and his love all around me. I couldn't understand why I was feeling loved, happy, and protected while I was suffering from his passing. But I now realize death is a lie, and my husband is still with me. He also led me to Pam and Alan. When I found their page and their group, I was amazed. All this that I've been experiencing has happened to others. And what a relief it was to finally know that I'm not crazy. I still struggled with the concept of continuing our relationship, not because I didn't want to, but because I was so confused and in shock as well. But after a session with Pam and Alan, I knew I had found my home. I knew I was where I was supposed to be. I know I'm on the right path. Every class we have here in the academy teaches me something new. My connection with my husband is stronger than ever, and he sends me many signs and messages. So thank you, Jackie. And I can see why you wanted me to share that story and was so eager to let everybody know. And I know she's not the only one who felt guided to us or who's had those conversations, the connections, the signs and all that, okay? They want to stay connected to us. Alan says to me, all of them do. Even those that know that their loved one here in a body is meant to move on, meaning, find another partner. And that's something, we can talk about another time. But if you're here, it means they want to talk to you. Because does it make any sense that if they wanted you to move on, they'd even come through a medium? Like, that makes no sense to me. If they really want you to just forget them and move on, they don't have to come through a medium. Really, they don't. The medium would just say, I don't have them here. Like, I don't hear him or her. And most people they'd be disappointed, but they wouldn't think anything of it. They just go, okay, like, what are you going to do with that? So if you've had contact, that means they do want to continue to communicate with you. I cannot promise you it's going to be forever and never, never, but it'll be, Alan's saying to me now to say to you, it's going to be for as long as what's beneficial for you and in your highest good. It's never about that they don't want to. I promise you that, because they can be everywhere. They're not keeping them from anything. They're multidimensional. They can be in a million places at one time. They can be with you and explore the galaxies if that's what they wanted. So can you, by the way. You just don't remember it. You're off probably doing that right now as I'm talking to you. You're just not aware of it. We are all existing in parallel realities right now. And that's just some of the things we talk about in the academy. We talk about the nature of reality, the nature of existence. This is all stuff I've studied for 35 years. And now I realize why I studied it. Why I studied, all these crazy things that I studied, and Alan was frustrated going, well, why are you learning that now? Why are you learning that? I go, I don't know. This is what Spirit told me to study. So if you're having that contact, that means they're here. And if for some reason it ends, and it really never ends because they're always going to be there. But if they do, you get directed somewhere else, it's because that's your next step and it's going to make you happy. It's not because they don't love you anymore and they're saying, you got to leave me. Okay. They will always love you. They will always be there. They're always just a thought away, literally a thought away, because they're right here. Their reality is right here next and folded into ours, and they're right here. So you never, ever should worry that they're going to reject you or going to abandon you. There is no such thing. Alan says they can't. They love you as a soul. The nature of your being is to love. You cannot not love, because to do that would be you don't exist, and you can't not exist. When you're in a human body, you can create the illusion that you don't love somebody because you're having a different experience in the physical world. But when you cross over, you realize, oh, that was just a movie role I was playing. That's not the reality. So even if they weren't behaving in a loving, caring way, they're not that person when they cross over. Okay, that was, again, the role they assumed. So thank you so much, Jackie, for sharing that and showing us what's possible, And interestingly, when somebody is unable to communicate like that, you do actually learn how to develop your psychic senses. And some of you, I know, have experienced that. I did a little bit with Alan at the end, but not as much. I was just stressed at the time. But he was kind of communicating with me, but I was having a hard time taking it in. I was just too stressed because we were moved. There's all kinds of things happening. And he had dementia. So it's different if you're a caregiver and you're physically and emotionally stretched to your limit and you're moving house all by yourself and your husband is dying of dementia. You're not actually able to focus and center and really hear clearly. So, but others of you have had experiences like that, where toward the end, you knew what they were saying to you and developed that connection early on. Okay. So that's in place. And even if you didn't experience that, you can develop that. That makes sense. I'm just looking at everybody's comments here. I wanted to, if it's okay with you guys, I want to bring on Donna. I think she's here, and to quickly share. And then we're going to really dive into our work together. And I think I'd rather just do that. And if we have time, I think we have another Academy member that wants to share. But Donna, if you're here, can you just hit the raise your hand button so I can see you on my screen? There she is. I see your face. I see your head. Yeah, because there's so many people here. I can't figure out where everybody is. So Donna, yeah, you can unmute. And if you haven't done so already, and we're just going to chat here. There you go. Okay, I'm going to add you here. Hey there.
Hi.
Hey there, Les and Donna. Okay, I can't ever say just Donna. I have to say Donna and Les, or Les and Donna, because they come as a team. We know that, right? And so yeah, quickly, if you just want to share, I think your story is really touching because you were so new when you joined us, new to the grief, because you'd only just lost. I say that in, this way, right? Because you didn't really lose him. So, but you were newly grieving and it was pretty intense. And I know you didn't really want to be here anymore. And you felt blessed guiding you to us. So that's enough of my lead in. So I'll just let you share as briefly whatever you want to share.
Yeah, Les guided me very quickly to your website. The day after he passed, I felt him and I smelled him, and I felt him guiding me, although I was just distraught. And yeah, for a good few months, I didn't want to be here at all. And it took a while for me to understand that he was trying to come through. And it was only through you and Alan, and teaching us that I saw there was another way, and that Les has been, trying to come through to me in all ways that he could, which was, pretty intense.
He's pretty persistent. And what stunned me about your story is just the things that he does, right? Like raking the carpet, making shapes in the carpet like every day, and making your bidet turn on and off, and startling your sister when she's on the toilet. I mean, the things he does, and just an example, not everybody's loved ones can do that, but to have someone on the other side who's so strong in that way, and some of them are, to really show, hey, I'm here. And I think that should bring comfort to all of us that are loved ones. Maybe they won't be able to do like the thing with the bidet, or rake the carpet and write our initials on it or something like that, but they can learn to do something. And so I feel like your story, you and Les, your story is really inspiring and gives us hope, because it shows that, and also because both of you, I know you say you would watch the videos every day, and I think you would go both agree, or maybe he'd guide you like, well, let's watch this, let's do that. And that's really the way to do it, like to work with your partner, whether that's your loved one, partner, literal spouse or partner, but whoever's on the other side, what should you do today? What should you watch today? And I don't want people to think that they have to sit and watch hours and hours of videos, but if you feel the impulse to do that, like clearly you and Les did, then that's really helped you, right? It seems like you go, both of you keep, I don't know, just intensifying the connection.
We do it about every day. We do around about an hour of different attunements, and I never know which ones that we're going to do day to day. It's always different, and it always seems to give me what I need that day. And also I talk to Les all day, and most of the time he talks back. In fact, sometimes he tells me to be quiet. Or if we're in bed, he'll just turn around and go, Donna, shh, relax. Be quiet.
That's funny.
He's been rather quiet today, so I don't know whether he's been studying with the
I think we have to allow them some time that they're just quiet and not, and I know, I don't necessarily saying that you're worried, but so other people might get all worried, like, why are they quiet? Something wrong? Why do you always think something's wrong? It's like, no, maybe they just need to chill out. That's what Alan tells me. I just need to chill out. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not a robot.
After doing the dishes at lunchtime, I did sense him. I felt him around me, and the attunement that we'd done, you said to ask them to give you a sign. So I said, give me a sign. And then you said it might not happen straight away. So about an hour later, I was washing the dishes and I felt him. And then he turned on the music on Alexa, because he likes to play with the electronics. He and it was, the songs that he put on was my sign. Which then made me cry. I've been very emotional today, throughout the day as well, which I haven't been so much recently.
So, but have you heard us talk about how that theory that perhaps the grief that we feel, like the sadness you're feeling, is really his love, and that you're translating this upswell of emotion like it's grief, because I feel there's a very fine line between grief and this immense love that literally makes you cry. Because I have felt that before, where I'm like, I'm crying because I'm so moved, and yet I go, and then I feel like I'm grieving it, but it's like it's all mixed together. It's not like I can say it's only really grief, because I can feel this love there. And now I believe that that's often what it is their love for us is so profound that we don't know how to interpret that. And so we think we're grieving because now we're so moved. And I know you're sensitive, and like many of us, you're very emotional. And so, yeah, it'd be easy to go, oh, I'm just really grieving, but maybe not, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Well, I heard you talk about that, and that's in my mind when I was crying. I was thinking about what you'd said about how it could be love, and what you said about Bashar and stuff with the grief thing.
Right.
And so I did feel, I said to Liz, maybe it's just your love coming in, just a love all
Because
around.
because see, the minute we interpret it like, oh yeah, you're gone, right? Like we think of the loss, then yeah, we're in the grief because we switched, right, to you're
Yeah.
not here. Right. The minute we say that, right, you're not here, which is a lie. And so we feel intense sadness because that's a lie. The sadness means what we're thinking is a lie. But then we're feeling the love, and you go, oh, wait a minute, though, because I feel
Yeah.
this love, and and I know he is so wrapped around you. How could you not ever feel this love? Right?
Yeah. My,
Because he's making
yeah.
sure that he's there. And so, but you're so powerful that you can think that teeny thought of you're gone, and like you're just in the grief. But yet what I'm seeing is the love is like right there, and it's so intense. That's why you're struggling. And I think that's true for many of us. I just
Yeah.
want people to kind of think about that.
My mind wandered, because, and I could hear Liz saying, I'm here, stay in the now, stay in the now, I'm here.
Right.
But it was tomorrow, on this day last year, it was Liz's funeral. So this afternoon, I kind of went back, and Les went, I'm not there, I'm here. I'm not there, I'm here. I said, I know. He said, but don't go back there until you can do it without
getting upset.
time.
Right.
Yeah. But
right.
it was just thinking about last year, like tomorrow, for his funeral.
Oh, of course. And so you're going back in time in your memory. And as we said, when we teach in academy, we tell everybody like they're not in the past, they're right here. So when you do that, you're missing out on their presence right here. And I always used to hear Alan saying, I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm right here. And I used in the beginning, I'd go, I know, why are you telling me? Like, why do you keep saying that? And he says, I'm trying to keep you focused right here. Like, don't go looking for me in your memory of the past until, like you said, like Les said to you, until you can do that and you're not upset, because there's no point, because I'm not there, I'm right here. And if you go looking for me back there, you're missing out on what you can experience with me right now. So I want you to be here now. And I remember talking to you guys one time, and he kept saying through me, right, to tell her, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Tell her to stay here. Stay right here. Stay right here.
That's when I kept diverting off.
Yeah. He was so funny. He kept saying, tell her to stay. I stay right here. Stay right here. Stay. Focus here. Focus here. And that's true for everybody, okay? Without exception. Everybody stay in the moment. They're not back there. The past is gone. They exist right now. So when you go, I'm not saying to forget your happy memories. You'll never forget those. But if you remember that and it brings you to tears, the reason it brings you tears because you now separated yourself from them here now. And so you're feeling the missing them because they're not there. And you know they're not there because you go in the memory and go, oh, but you're not there. And it hurts because the truth is they're right here. And you just created this gap from them to you. So
I was dreading the anniversary of his passing on the 16th of March. But he was here all day long.
All day. He made sure that you were.
He just, from the moment I woke up, he was there just the whole day. I didn't even have. There's no
time for you to miss him.
Then because, and I had plans. I was going to do this, do that, and do this and do that, but I didn't have to because he was just so
there.
Yes.
And they can do that. And I know you both he's saying to me, he prepared you to be able to do that, because of the work you've done together to connect. So, I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, he can't always be there like that, um, because you need to live in this 3D
Yeah,
world, and that would be too distracting. As much as you or any of us might want that,
yeah,
they know that, but you have to live, and always be here. And yeah, I can come in really strongly like that when you really need me, but I don't want you to need me like that all the time, because then that means you're kind of living in a intense way, right? You're
yeah,
living on the edge a bit, feeling like I really need help. And they don't want us to live like that. They want us to live with joy. So, but if we really, really need them, oh yeah, they're
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. So I'm
But
so
sometimes,
glad to hear
yeah,
that.
I won't be thinking about him or just chatting away to him, and he draws love hearts in my food. And when I'm walking along the beach walk, there's love heart stones. I have a full box of love heart stones here. And there's love hearts in the clouds, and there's love hearts
Okay.
pavement. Um, it's just yeah.
If he keeps this up, you're going to need a bigger house.
He's
Well,
just yeah.
well, thank
He's
you for sharing. Is there any last thing you'd like to say? I appreciate you sharing people your journey and letting them know that, that it's really about just staying the course and just keeping at it, letting your partner or your loved one, kind of guide you, say, oh, let's watch this, or no, let's take it easy, like just living, knowing they're there and interacting even if you find it hard to believe. And I know you didn't find it hard to believe. Les wouldn't let you, but but if anybody else isn't sure, you got to lean into that, because not
yeah.
every spirit is as strong as Les, but they can become strong. It just may take them longer.
I
That's
just
all.
like to say that, there's some days are like there's a lot of like activity and stuff, and other days there's not. And it's took me a long time to get my head around it, like that, as you say, the ebb and flow
Ebb and flow.
of
Yeah.
uh, of the way that they come in and stuff. I know now that he's always here, even though some days I don't feel him like other days.
What I'm hearing from the other side, this is not Les or even Alan. What I'm hearing from the other side is that all of us are here to learn to have trust and faith. And so we don't get to develop that if everything is always guaranteed, it's always there, right? And
Yeah,
so we have to understand that this is one of the purposes of incarnating, is learning to have that faith.
yeah,
And and so but you have had so much evidence, and you know that if it goes quiet or things seem to, the tide is out a little bit, it'll come back in again. And the more you and the rest of us can just like go with the flow and say, it is what it is, I'm just going to make the best of it, it gets easier. And Alan's saying to me, why not let it be a surprise, like what's
yeah.
going to happen, instead of like, well, he always does this and this
No,
other thing always happens. After a while, he says, it will become boring. Like everything, like, okay, I don't know, turns on the light at 2 o'clock in the morning every time. For after a while, you'll go, can you stop turning off the damn light? like could stop it because it's too, he says, it's funny. He says, he's saying to me, it could become too ordinary. Like it's always this way. And don't you
yeah.
want life to be a bit of an adventure and sometimes have a surprise and make it special? It would be like giving you a dozen roses every day. After a while, it would be have no meaning. Like
Yeah,
I don't want roses every day.
it's
This,
like having the supernatural sex. We've had that a few times now, but it is a lovely surprise when it happens. And then the next day I'm wandering
yeah,
about
well,
like a fairy. Around, you know,
yes, and
it's rain outside, but I'm sunshine.
but again, I think if you'd have that all the time, you might get complacent about it too, believe it or not, right? So
Yeah,
like having dessert every night or something, like the
seen
big
that.
a big ice cream sundae every night. After a while, you go, Well, I'm talking about something different. It was like, I want the contrast. He said, they're saying, why we're in a body, you do want some contrast. You don't want everything to be same, 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 same. And you don't certainly don't want that on the other side because they
Yeah,
get bored of that instantly. So like have a surprise, and
I've
so
seen him that.
somebody, or maybe some of you are watching this and going, supernatural sex, what the hell they're talking about? But we have fun with that in the academy, don't we? And we're going to have another meeting on that. But
Yeah,
and if people are in the academy who are not a partner, they don't have to attend. But the ones who do have a partner, we learn from each other, inspire each other, and I'm always learning something new, and it's quite extraordinary and amazing
yeah,
to me. And it's proof that, yeah, they're here and they can make contact with us and love us in a visceral, tangible, even physical way you would not believe. So
yeah.
don't knock it until you try it. Right? Wouldn't you say that, Donna? I think that's a good
It's
one.
it's amazing. Yeah,
I remember
absolutely
the
amazing.
first time you told us about it. We were so thrilled for you, and it was like, what? Like, but
I
you're
was
not
just
the only one in the academy. But it
floating
was,
around.
and they have to learn how to do that. Most of them, but they can learn how to do that. And we
Yeah,
give them motivation by being open and trusting and, trying our best. Right. And so yeah, it's great. I can't wait to see what else happens with the two of you and everybody else in the academy. So thank you so much for sharing.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Bye, Les. Okay, behave now. Okay, I don't think he's going to behave. I see Alan with him. They're probably going to be up to no good. Like if I know how my husband is. So okay, but
Thank you.
but take care. Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay. Thanks, Donna. We're gonna go into a meditation. We're gonna mix things up a bit, and we are gonna talk to you about the academy more. But we just wanted to get these sharings in because I think they're so important because we didn't really were able to talk about that, right? You only heard my story, and even that wasn't that in depth. So, to be honest, there are people in the academy that have much more deeper, richer contact than I have. And there's a reason for that. That sometimes I get annoyed with the other side, but I have to hold the space. And don't get me wrong, I have incredible connection with Alan, and it's as if we're almost like one person, although we're not. But there's so little separation between us. But for most of the people we work with, almost everybody who's in the academy, that's not going to be the case. We have to be more merged so that we can serve you. So after me at times throwing a tantrum with the spirit world, with my team and Alan, and they said, sorry, you signed up for this. And I go, yeah, I know. Okay, so I kind of have to put my need aside. And again, not that I'm not happy because the blessings that I receive are tremendous, but that's why you're going to hear people in our academy reporting incredible experiences and contact. And this is going to increase. I see it already increasing, almost like every week, or for some of them, maybe, well, especially during this master class, some of you were saying amazing things were happening. And so but that's what we're here for. That's what Ellen and I are here to support everybody with. But to do that, we have to really be one almost. And the other morning when I was getting ready for class to teach you, and I was, looking in the mirror, brushing my hair and things like that. And I was shocked because I could see Alan looking at me, but he was me and I was him. And I was overwhelmed with love and emotion. And I said, we're almost like one, really. And he goes, yes, we're as one as two people can be without actually merging completely and losing identity. And I said, okay. And he said, that's why he says it seems to you now like even more so that you're talking to yourself, although you're not because of what I'm saying to you, but it feels so seamless, really so seamless. And it's just strange. And I said, yeah. And he goes, so you have to raise your vibration to do that. but you have to be really grounded to facilitate what you do with me and the angels, is what he said. So you can't be drifting off. Like drifting off. You got to hold everybody, including them, like, because I have to bring them in to the physical world. Anybody who channels will tell you that you are the conduit, but you are the anchor for them to come in. They cannot come in unless it's through somebody in a body. Angels cannot like just bop in and kill everybody. They have to have a conduit, somebody to transmit, somebody to hold their energy. And what I understand now is, while yes, I could channel information, and I have, and a lot of times when I answer people, they're speaking through me. They said, I'm really about awakening and activating people. So that's why those meditations are so intense. And we're going to do one in a second. Okay. Because that's what I signed up for. That's what I've been in training for 37 years now. And I can hold that state and bring them through. And Alan, they've shown me that I've done that in many, many lifetimes, like practice that, practice that, practice that. And so right now in this moment will always be the apex of that, because, this is now. Tomorrow will be another apex, another pinnacle, if you will. There will always be another pinnacle, another height for me and for all of us. So just understand that, they're with you. You are going through your own spiritual transformation. If you're here, now you could change your mind. You have free will. You could decide, I want to do this. This is too hard. I give up. That's fine. When you cross over the other side, you probably will regret it. I know that, but it's okay. No judgment. And you are here to do what you choose. Okay. But if you feel called to this, to stay, in pursuit of this connection, to learn it, then this is going to fulfill you. This is going to lead to more magic and miracles and blessings for you. But I can't say it's going to be easy. It depends on what you are here to experience and what they're saying to me, kind of what emotional baggage you carry. We all have some sort of baggage. Depends what that is. But whatever it is, even if it's a lot of baggage, trust me, even if you have a lot of issues, you can actually make faster, further progress, interestingly enough, than somebody who has less. So don't think that that's what it comes down to. Like, oh, I'm too troubled, I have too many fears and issues, that this isn't going to work for me. Don't ever count yourself out. You don't know. And all you can do is best you can do. So the angels are like getting antsy. What we're going to do is bring them through again. And they told me they wanted me to pass a channeling attunement. Okay. So this one is going to more focus on your crown chakra, where you connect to the other side, to spirit, right? They come through there. I mean, in reality, there's no it's hard to explain, but let's just say that's the focal point. Your crown chakra, that's where you connect to all that is. And that chakra is the one that's always open. And the other chakras, energy centers of your body, will open to varying degrees, and you can open and close them as you like. But the crown is open to whatever degree it's open that is perfectly aligned for you right now. And you can't force it open, like to open more. The only way it opens more is through your spiritual development. As you evolve and become more aligned with your soul, then it opens of its own accord. You can't really completely close it down, because you're always connected to all that is. So it is as open as it is. You have to worry about it. You have to go, how open is mine? Is it too open? Is it too closed? Like, don't worry about it. Whatever it is perfect. Whatever is going on in your crown chakra, there's no problem there. But they're saying we're going to pass an attunement through your crown, and you may or may not feel it. Don't worry if you don't feel it. Just know that the energy is going to come through, and the intention of this attunement is to open up your channel, your connection. So with the crown chakra, just know that it's open to whatever degree it's open. And you don't ever try to control it. You can't really. And it'll open more the more you open up spiritually. And we're going to pass this attunement through your crown, which is connected to your channeling, right? So they're saying to me that that's all you need to know, and that they would like you to set the intention of who you would like to blend with. Okay, we're not technically going to channel per se in terms of, like bringing in their messages. You might get messages, and that's okay if that happens spontaneously. But your intention is just to blend and merge your consciousness with, they're saying to me, with your loved one, if that's who you want to connect with. Or some of you may more want to connect with your angels or your guides. So whoever you choose to, you decide and set your intention of just blending. Right now, we just want you to blend, because I don't want to go full on into a whole channeling workshop. We have one already that's on our academy called the Channeling Your Soulmate Masterclass, and we're going to go more into that in the academy next month. But just blending, okay? And again, if you start getting a message, great. If you start spontaneously channeling, great, because some of you are our students, so you might already just slip into that. Because I'm hearing that they have a lot to say to you. But again, spirit oftentimes communicates non-verbally, okay, through emotion, sensation, sometimes through symbols, like so clairvoyantly. And you can allow it to come in whatever way it comes in. That would be my suggestion, not to set any limit or again, any expectation, to just say, I want to have this experience. And my goal is just to be open and to see what unfolds. To me, that's always the best way. And trust that whatever's happening is for your highest good and is perfect for you. And just enjoy it. The more you do that, they're telling me you're putting yourself in a receptive state, right, of allowing. We need to understand that to manifest something, yes, we ask, like I want contact would be asking, right? I want to connect with my loved one. Receiving is just like letting it be. It's like saying, okay, I'll let it unfold. I'll let it just happen the way it's going to happen. And I'm not going to get worried about it. I'm not going to micromanage it. I'm not going to try to control it. I'm just going to allow everything to flow. That is always the most powerful way to live. You're meant to ask and receive, ask and receive. A lot of people just keep asking. I want this, want this, want this. And they're not going, I'm allowing, I'm receiving, I'm trusting, I'm enjoying. And a lot of times, if you just get out of your own way, everything starts to fall into place. So we want to encourage you to just understand the dynamics of this, of asking and receiving, right? Trusting, believing, allowing, and just, you've already put out to the universe, this is what I want. I want this connection. I want to communicate with the other side. And they know that. So now it's just about trusting that whatever happens is perfect in this moment, and it's going to continue to change. Okay, and being okay with that too. So Alan's saying, okay, enough of that. So close your eyes, get comfortable wherever you are. Okay, get comfortable, close your eyes, and let's do some affirming. Again, the I am one with all that is affirmation. All right, so say, I am one with all that is. 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 And allow yourself to enter a deep state of relaxation, knowing that the more you affirm, I am one with all that is, the more easily it becomes for you to enter this deep state of relaxation. And this is all you need to do to connect to the other side. For they exist in this timeless, state of peace. And so let go of your worries and your cares and just affirm, I'm one with all that is. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, set your intention to expand your energy field, to open your non-physical body, to activate that part of you, because you have both a physical and a non-physical energy body. Allow your non-physical energy body to expand and project so that it can perceive the non-physical world through your spiritual senses, your soul senses, your psychic senses. These are all words for the same thing. Take a breath in and feel into that expansion. And focus your awareness on your heart. And if you need to or want to, place your hands on your heart. And breathe into your heart. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, send light and love into your heart. And feel that love and that light enfold your heart. Feel the energy swirling through your heart. And feel the energy expanding beyond your heart, filling your chest, radiating up and out through your head, and yet down your arms and down into your stomach and your pelvis and your legs and your thighs and your feet. Allow this love and this light to fill your entire body, and let the light fountain out of the top of your head. As it does, it opens your crown. And there's nothing for you to do but set the intention that you're opening your crown chakra to all that is. Opening it as full as you can. Trusting that everything is in perfect divine order. And now we're calling in the archangels. And while all of them are here with us, some of them individually are coming closer to some of you. Okay? Not necessarily to all of you, but to some of you. But they're all here surrounding us with light, lifting us up, asking for us to cast off any worries, burdens, fears, energies that don't belong to us. Let us surrender all those to them. And the archangels are wrapping all of us up in their wings of heavenly light, letting us rise up. And now we pass the attunement, the channeling attunement. And this is going down through your crown chakra, through the top of your head. You might feel the swirling energy moving from the top of your head down through all of your body, making its way in its own time, because each of you is different. It's making its way from the crown chakra down through every organ, of your body, flowing easily, unimpeded. Activating your energy centers, balancing them, cleansing them. All of this is happening automatically. You may or may not feel it. It's not necessary for you to feel it. All that's necessary is for you to allow it and receive it. Be in agreement of this experience. If at any time you are not comfortable with something, anything at all you have to do is say no to it. Know that you are in complete control. You are the sole operant power in your life, and reality must obey you. And the angels want you to remember that you are equal to them, to all that is. It doesn't matter your level of soul maturity, new souls, old souls, makes no difference. Every soul is a divine aspect of the Creator with all the powers of the Creator. All are equal, yet unique and different. All are worthy. All are needed. Because if you were not needed, you wouldn't exist. God, Creator, doesn't make mistakes. So now in this state of connection, now after receiving this attunement, blend your energy using your power of intention with whoever it is that you would like to connect with, that you would channel. Whether or not you're ready to communicate, it doesn't matter. Some of you are, some of you aren't. So blend with your energy. Call that being to you by name or by visualizing them. They're always a thought away. So feel the blending, feel the merging. That is what channeling is. We are embodying that spirit, that being, that loved one. We can do this because in truth, there's only one of us. We're all one soul, living the illusion that we're separate souls because we want to experience each other. God wants to experience itself through us, but in reality, we're all one. So blend with whoever it is you want to connect with and feel that merging. You cannot be lost within them. You cannot lose your identity, whether you're in a body or on the other side. That is impossible. But you can experience a fuller merge, a fuller blending. So feel into that blend, and blend. Know that you can never be lost. You can never lose yourself. Nothing is ever lost in the eyes of God and all that is. Just keep remembering to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Enjoy your experience of merging and connecting. And know that you can return to this channeling state at any time. And when you listen to it again and you don't want to come out, you can just turn off the audio or take off your headphones, your earbuds, and just keep experiencing. And right now, the angels want to flood your aura with light, to raise your vibration, to take you even higher. If at any time any of this feels uncomfortable, just ask them to ease up, and they will. The other side doesn't always know how they are impacting us. Your loved one usually does, but not always. And so it's up to us to communicate, to interact with the spirit world, because they're here. So just say what you need to say, ask for what you need. Now they're showing me your angel wings. So whether you believe you're an incarnated angel or not, some of you are hearing this, you're going, what is she talking about, incarnated angels? We are everything. We are God's source. We have been everything in all of creation. We're here to experience being a rock, being a tree, being a human, being a fish, and even being an angel. And so some of us come into this world as incarnated angels, meaning that we are angels on the other side, and we sometimes come in to different realities and bring in our angelic awareness to serve. So if that's you, you might feel unfolding of your wings on your back. You might feel a sense of upliftment, like you just raised up a little bit. And if you don't feel that, don't worry about it. That may not be your experience in this life. And the angels are still flooding everyone with light. They're saying this is the time to release any fears, doubts, and disbeliefs you have that you can about connecting with the other side. Some of you still doubt that you can do this. And so they're saying to surrender that if your choice is to release it. If you want to hang on to that fear and disbelief, then that's fine. But if you're willing and wishing to release it, then let it go. Ask your angels to help you lighten your load, lighten your fears and doubts. And all you have to do is say in your mind, I surrender my fears and my doubts. I embrace the truth that I am a soul and I can communicate with the spirit world because I exist in the spirit world. And I do so now. All right. I know some of you may have gone so deep that you fell asleep, and that's fine. If you ever fall asleep, that means that's what you needed. When we teach with the angels, they always say that you will receive and experience what you need and not anything else. So if you fall asleep, that's what was important for you to experience. If you don't, that was what you need to experience. And so you're going to just go with that, embrace that, celebrate that. Because you're here on a journey and you're going to do this again. And each time you do it, you'll be different. Each time you practice, you're going to be in a new place. You're going to move forward. You're going to evolve. You cannot not evolve. That is the nature of existence, is continual, constant evolution. Progress is always made. You cannot de-evolve, cannot go backwards, can only go forward in each millisecond. So celebrate the new place that you stand right now, even if you think nothing happened. Something profound is always happening. It's a question of, can you perceive it? That's all. Even if you can't perceive it, doesn't mean it didn't happen. So now we're asking you to take a breath in, and on the exhale, set the intention that you integrate this attunement into your mind, body, and spirit. You can feel the energy going deeper and anchoring into every cell and fiber of your being. Remember that this process, this journey, has to be steady and slow because the physical body is so dense and it needs time. It needs time to catch up. It needs time to integrate. It needs time to balance. We push you too far and go too fast, you could become distorted. And while you could have this explosive growth, it'll actually set you back a little bit because it would be so distorting that you'd have to stop. Not completely stop, but you'd have to pause to catch up. And it's not going to be pleasant. So we always affirm and intend that our time with you, our work with you, is done with grace, ease, and joy, so that you can savor and relish and enjoy this journey instead of feeling like it's struggling or it's too intense. It's, it's overwhelming for you. There's no need for that. The angels are saying that any time you ever do feel overwhelmed for whatever reason, call out to them and ask them to help you to balance. Okay. They're saying to me that all of you, without exception, are actually expanding very quickly, whether you experience it or realize it or not, because now they're talking to me about this quickening. I don't know what they're talking about, but because you're reaching out to someone in the spirit world, it's almost like they're pulling you along. It's almost like they're going, come on, come on. And so they are interacting with you, they are engaging with you, again, whether you are aware of it or not, and they are kind of guiding you forward, which is a very powerful thing. And it's what you signed up for. That's why you're here. There are no accidents, there are no coincidences. If you're here with us now, it's because your soul wants this. And it's a question of, is your conscious logical mind going to like go along with it? Because it can argue, it can resist, it can complain. It's all it is. Now, before we fully bring you up, we want to ground you, right? Andrea says Archangel Michael is here. Great. Yeah, he's been here like the whole master class. He's been working with me. Well, actually, he's worked with Alan and me for 30 some odd years. And I don't know. I want to ground you first, and then I'll tell you a short story because not all of you know this. Some of you haven't read our book, or maybe you forgot. But let's ground you first. So I want you to, again, set your intention to ground, right? Intention is everything. You're going to ground to the earth. You're going to send roots through the bottoms of your feet or through the base of your spine, your choice. Ground yourself to the earth like an anchor that you're letting go. And it's connecting you to the core of Mother Earth. And as you do that, you're pulling up the earth energy, which is grounding energy, pulling up that earth energy into your body through the bottoms of your feet or the base of your spine, letting that earth energy go up your legs, up into your stomach, up into your chest, down your arms, out your hands, up your neck, filling your head, letting that grounding earth energy just swirl around to really connect you to Gaia, to Mother Earth. And as it does, at the same time, using the power of your intention, you're sending, reaching out to the cosmos, bringing in some cosmic energy to come down into your crown and mix with that earth energy, to blend with that earth energy so that you will be fully balanced between heaven and earth. So feel that mix of that energy, the cosmic and energy with the earth energy, just blending and swirling and mixing and illuminating all of your chakras, balancing it, cleansing them. And when you're ready, bring yourself fully back into your body. Some of you, I think, are sleeping, and that's okay. But those who are not, bring yourself back and let me know how you're doing. You can comment in the chat if you like. And Betty just asked, who is the archangel with a light? Well, that's kind of hard to say because they all have immense light. I don't know of any archangel that is not perceived as a powerful light being. Somebody's saying, why would I cry? You could be crying because the love is so immense, it will bring you to tears. When I connect with Jesus, I break down. I just start crying. The love is so that's why I say I really believe the love that we're feeling from our loved ones that we think is grief, I think it's their love, because it's the same reaction I have to Jesus. I just start crying and I'm not grieving. Why would I grieve about Jesus, right? But I start crying. I've just become overwhelmed with emotion, and I cry and I'm moved, and then I'll settle down and go, okay, and then I'll talk to him. Yeah, I know some of you didn't want to come back. I get it, but we have to move on. So that's why you're going to repeat this, right? And then go back in and go deeper. And the archangels, before they're not going to leave. Okay, they're from because I promised them that from now on they're always here. It's just that sometimes they're going to be more like pulled back a bit, not so like almost in your face. They're going to be more back a bit, but I promised them that there will be here. So they're saying that they want to leave you with this. They're saying that they're going to be more engaged with everything that we do, because as Alan said, it's time for us to bring in the big guns to help everybody heal mind, body, and spirit. So to elevate your consciousness, because that's really what's required to connect through the veil in the highest way, especially if you want to continue your relationship and not simply be a medium. I mean, this sounds going to sound funny, but they're saying like, you don't want to just be a medium. And I thought, I'm saying, what do you mean by that? And they go, because mediums just talk to the dead. They're not dead, obviously, but they talk to the dead, but they're not all elevated in their consciousness. So they said they want more for you than to just talk to them. They want you to be like them in a sense, right? Like live with them, to share reality with them. Mediums don't do that. They don't. You don't need to raise up that high to communicate with them. Okay. And that's just not their journey. Your journey, if you're here with us, and now Alan's teasing, like saying the mission possible, not impossible, but possible is, are you going to elevate your consciousness to continue relationship? And this mission that's possible is only for certain people who signed up for it, who said, this is part of my soul plan, or decided that they want it, because you can always, you have free will, you can choose to have it. So you can repeat this one, go back in, receive the attunement again as many times as you want to, right? And I know some of you fell asleep, but again, you got what you needed. So I know it might be a little frustrating if you feel like you fall asleep. Danette says, yes, I want the total spiritual development package. Okay. I hear you. That's great. But well, that's what I want too. So, all right, before we're going to show you, I'm going to show you the Academy and talk to you about what we have for you there. Before we do that, we want to, no, Alan said to wait on, I was going to announce the winner of the lifetime membership, but Alan just told me to wait on that. I'm not even sure if they're here. I have to look in and if I have two people that we chose, like the first, like number one, number two, and it depends on whether they're here or not, because they're supposed to be here if I call their name. But if the first person isn't here, then I call the second person's name. The second person's not here, then we got to like start all over. We'll just, he says, we'll just throw a dart at the group, at the pop-up group and say who we get. We will choose somebody. But before we do that, let me talk to you about the Academy. Let me actually show you the Academy. That's even better. So is everybody back? Everybody back? Oh, he said, you said you're going to tell them the story. Okay, Alan and I have been in contact with Archangel Michael since I started to teach angel workshops, which was, I can't remember when it was, probably in I want to say 2005, something like that, 2005. And I taught my first angel workshop. And on the day of the people were coming for the workshop, Alan was drinking a cup of coffee, as they always did in the morning. And all of a sudden, he stopped and looked at me, like through me. And I looked at him like, what's going on? And he goes, do you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? I go, what are you talking about? He says, I just saw Archangel Michael. And I go, Alan, I thought you didn't believe in angels. Because at the time he didn't. He was very skeptical. He didn't believe there was a hierarchy. And there technically isn't, like we've said, but he didn't believe in angels. And he said he saw him, that he appeared dressed in with his wings, the whole thing, with startling blue eyes. And he said to him that he should believe me, because I had just been telling him, Alan, that Archangel Michael was with him. And he started laughing at me like, oh, you're just like, what do you know? Like, but Michael appeared to be a parent and said, would you listen to her, man? She's telling the truth. And Alan knew what he saw. And I knew he wasn't making it up, because my husband never makes up anything. And if you saw his look on his face, you know that he saw something shocking. And he said he told him that he was real. Then he started to communicate with us more and more. And so he would come through, not appear. He appeared two more times to Alan after that, closer to the end of his life. And I knew that Michael told me that when the time would come that he passed, that he would be with him, that he'd take him on the other side. But when he first appeared to Alan, he said through me, he said, Alan and I are brothers. And I didn't dawn on me till after he died that what that meant, when Swati said, well, Alan's an archangel, an incarnated archangel. And I still have problems with that, folks. So don't get me wrong. And I have had mediums tell me that, well, I don't know about that, and I have people that say they heard you say that and they think that's weird. And I go, I am only telling you what Michael told us, and Swati told us. I don't believe it either. I have a hard time with it. You do leave it if you don't want to. I don't know. but it explained to me why Alan could do the things he did. But Michael, at the time when he appeared to Alan, he had said to me that Alan was like a brother to him, and that they incarnated in lifetimes here before, and that on the other side they worked together. And I wasn't at the time big into Archangel Michael. Okay, a lot of people are. I wasn't, but and neither was Alan. So this shows you that, we weren't going looking for this. We're not like, oh yeah, we love Archangel Michael. Let's bring him. Like, we were shocked like anybody. Oh, he's here. Like, what does he want? And he says, and then after that, more recently, he said, well, and you're my sister too, but I didn't tell you that because it wasn't necessary for you to know that. So I still, like I said, I still have trouble with that. I don't walk around saying, hey, I'm an archangel. So I don't talk about that. But I know they're incarnated angels. And all I know is I'm here to do what I'm here to do. And I've always been somewhat obsessed about teaching spiritual development, not psychic development, personal and spiritual development, helping people become their soul. And interestingly, I later find out, well, that's what archangels are focused on. They're helping people embody their soul. Well, I've always been into that. So maybe I am, I don't know. But I'll let you decide. I really don't care either way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change how I'm going to show up in the world. It doesn't matter. And I doesn't mean I'm perfect. Doesn't mean I don't have my days when I want to kick this work to the side and go run away and just live on the beach or something. But I know I'm here to serve, and I do that with joy, truly. Truly, that's the only thing that I've been completely obsessed with since I began this journey. I can't stop thinking about it. That's how you know it's what you came here to do, that you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop doing it. It's like, this is my thing.